Alright, we have learned quite a few things so far about Swift and about Xcode. So let's try and build a simple application in our Xcode. And this application we are going to start building, and once we are done with it, I'm not going to use any line of code. We are only going to use our storyboard. So you can see that even if you don't know how to write code, you can still build an application. So we are going to create a project, which is a single view application. Click next, and I'm going to call this Planetarium. Click next, and I'm going to save it into my folder. You can save it wherever you want. And we're not changing anything here in our settings. We're not going to touch any of the codes here. Just let's close these folders that don't get on our way. I'm going to go to main storyboard here, and you will see now how powerful is the storyboard. Let's also close the left panel here so we have more space. And storyboard is developed by Apple in the Xcode, and it's so powerful that even without writing the code you can build your application here. So we're going to start with a welcome view, and let's put some kind of text here. We are going to use a label to show our text, and let's double tap on it and say welcome to Planetarium. And I'm going to position this in the middle, and let's also enlarge it, and we are using blue guidelines here. We are always using blue guidelines, and once we get to know about auto layout, you will understand why is it so important to use the blue guidelines. Then I'm selecting my text and setting the parameter to be alignment in the center. And let's also increase the size because this is our title here. And let's select our white background here. I'm going to make my application to have a black background. Now you can see that our label is not visible anymore. You can either click on it and change the color, or if you cannot find it, you can always select on the left panel here what your subviews you have here. So we select it, and here under color I'm changing it to white. Actually we can also set this to be like bold. I'm sorry, let's close the color, and we're changing this to bold. And also let's get a button, and I'm going to put this in the middle. Let's open it up. Again, we are using our blue guidelines, and let's rename our button enter. And I'm going to also change the color. Let's change this to white. And what we are going to do is to increase the font size and make this semi-bold. Okay, and also if we scroll down we can set a background color. So let's set it some kind of gray here. So we have our button nicely visible. So this is our welcome view. What I'm going to do is switch to iPhone 8 simulator, and I'm going to say Command R, which is the same as we click on the run button here. I just want to make sure that my application is working properly, and we can see our welcome to Planetarium screen and our button here. Let's give it a few seconds for the simulator to run. I just updated to Xcode 10 beta 5, so this is the first time I'm running my simulator. That's why it takes some time to start. I'm going to pause the video and resume once it's done. Okay, so my program is running. I can see we have our view here, which is welcome to Planetarium, and enter button. And when we click, nothing happens because we haven't done anything yet. And below, I'm going to close these panels. So now that we know our application is working, we're going to click the stop button here, or you can do Command and dot, so it will stop your application from running. So we have our first view, and then we're going to open our library here, and I'm going to drag out another view controller. So we started initially with a single view application, which is the first view here, and now we are dragging out another view, so our application is no longer a single view application. So to keep our application constant throughout the views, I'm going to select my background here and set this to be black as well. And we're going to start with first planet, which is Venus. And for this, we're going to have a planet image here, and then some kind of text about the planet. This is what our basic view will have. And then we're going to build on this application, and we're going to develop it once we learn how to do it. So right now I need an image view, and if I search in my library image, I see that I have an image view. So image view is holding images. So you place an image view in your view, and then you can set it image parameter to whatever image you want. Right now, before we do anything further, I want to select my main view here, which is our welcome view, go to editor, and then go down to embed in, and we're going to embed this into a navigation controller. And this is going to add another navigation controller here, and then we have this is what segues look like. It has a link to our welcome view. Also, you can see that we have a nice tab here added for us, which we get for free, and we can actually set the title of this tab by clicking here. So I'm going to call this Planetarium. Now you see that the title appears, and we have our view moved down automatically for us. So once we start using our navigation controller, you will understand why we are using this. For now, just add it, and we are going to move to our second view. So what we want to do when our button is clicked, I'm going to say Control, and I'm dragging to my next view here, and then I'm going to say Show Detail. And let's see what we will have. Now you see it created a segue here. If I click on it, you will see that storyboard segue. So this is a segue transition from one view to another view, and Apple is calling it a segue. And then it has some kind of parameters: identifier, class, module, and what kind of segue is this. So currently we have set it to show detail, which is like replace. So it replaces this view with this one. And then we have some other types here. Show example, it's just pushing. So what it does is takes this view and pushes into our navigation controller stack. So imagine like navigation controller is a stack of cards. So whichever view is on top, we're currently seeing the view that is on top. If you slide another card on top, so the previous view goes underneath, and let's say we see another card on top here. So this is what we are going to do. We take this view, so imagine it as a card, and we put it on top of our stack, which is our navigation controller. And then we will see this view here. And our navigation controller will have a back button here. If you are using iPhone applications, you may be familiar with it. There is a back button, for example, in settings, and then when you click, the top view disappears and we go to the previous view. So if I select my segue now and go to the kind and replace it with a push, you will see that on top I automatically get this view, which is part of navigation controller, and also for free we are getting this back button, and it has a title of Planetarium. This is actually the title of my previous view. So if I hold this view 1, the view here, the button title automatically changes. So let's say Command Z to undo, and now we have our back button here for free. So let's select our image view. Actually, also what we want to do here, since this planet is the first planet and we're going to call this Venus, I want to set the title here to be Venus. In order to set the title, Apple for a long time has a bug now. So you cannot just double tap like we do here and set the title. But if we select our segue, go to the kind and select the push under deprecated segues, and then come and tap on our navigation controller top here, you will see the title appears. I'm going to call this Venus. You see it appears. Now we select our segue again and go back and put it back to our show and this example push there. Now if I double tap, I can edit my title here. So this is a bug which goes on for like 4 years now, and Apple doesn't want to fix it, which is okay. We have a solution and we are working on it. So we have an image here, and let's change the size of our image. The width, let's put it 250, and the height is going to be 250. It's quite big, so let's actually get our assets. So you will have an asset folder with this course, so you have to download this, and I'm going to open. Here I have only 4 planets, and the way we add assets to our project, let's open it up, and this is my library here of my assets. What we want to go to the asset folder of our project, and then open the folder where your assets are, and I'm going to just drag and drop in the white area here, and you will see it added 4 images here, and these are the names. Venus, then it goes the Mercury, then it's Earth, and then it's Mars, so it's the distance from the Sun. I can see we have different images here. Then if I go to my storyboard now, and if I select my image view, we can open the our image information here, our image view, which is our attribute inspector here, the middle one. And then we have a parameter image. I can call this Venus, and you see it automatically completes it. And I'm using the name that is actually used in my assets library. So if I was typing capital letter Venus, it won't find this, because our image here is called Venus. So we have our image, and let's close the side panel as well. And now we need something to show our text. So we know that we are using labels to show our text, but imagine our text about Venus is going to be quite big, so it won't fit our screen. So we need something that we can scroll our text with. First, let's actually position our image view here with our blue guidelines. And then we are going to use a text field here. So we say text field, and we have text field and text view. The text field where we input the text, and text view is good to display some kind of big text which doesn't fit our screen, and that because it comes with a scroll function which we get for free, we don't have to do any code. We can just use a text view here to hold our text. So again, I'm using our blue guidelines, and you see that currently we have some dummy text here from Lorem Ipsum. I'm going to keep the text for now because I want to fix my background. First, let's scroll down, and under view area you will see that background is white. So I want to check it, turn it to black so it matches our background here. And now our text is not visible. So we can go under text view area, and we can change the color of our text view to be white. So now we have our white text here. Then if I open my assets folder here, you have a text file called planet info. And here is the link where I got the planet info, this information and images from. So you are going to use this link later on when we are getting more information about our planet. So let's copy the information about Venus. And I'm going to paste it here. And the text is quite big now. And also I want to make the text justified. So let's change the size. And now our text view is smaller than our text itself. So we are going to get our text view scrolling function. So if I run, let's see what we have here. So we have our view here. If I click enter, it goes to my Venus here, and I can also drag to see the rest of information about our planet. So you see we haven't used any single line of code, and I can go back and forth with my application and I can see my first planet here.